Florida is literally about to be in the biggest FO phase. Do you know how we as Democrats were telling you that you were going to lose all of your labor?
Don't be shocked. You're shocked? You're shocked?
These are USAID workers.
Hi, I was a worker at HHS. I was fired illegally on February 14th. There are many people who are not getting social service programs, especially people with disabilities. Are you going to do anything to stop what's happening?
You probably deserved it.
Oh, no. No, no. No, no, no. I deserved it?
You probably deserved it.
I deserved it.
That's
Wow.
rude and sad.
Yeah, that's great to hear. Why did I deserve it?
Because you seem like a clown.
Okay, sir, you shouldn't have said that on.
Chat, you know when they say actions have consequences? Well, in this video today, we've got two sides, the MAGA supporters and we've got the Democrats or the liberals. Of course, you know the history. One is conservative, one is liberal. And the source of all this drama is from the 2024 elections, where the MAGA supporters had very high expectations. I think it's Democrats' turn to, taunt or hound the MAGA supporters, especially when things are not going right for them. Well, in today's episode, it seems like the MAGA states people are crying because of the job loss. So many things are not going on their side. I think it's either patience or they are lied to. And that is what the Democrats or the non-MAGA supporters are trying to pull that to them and trying to get into their heads. We're gonna look at how people are lamenting losing their jobs from both sides, but mostly MAGA. Quick disclaimer, the videos that follows or the videos featured in this section actually belong to the true owners who their TikTok or their accounts are attached to the videos. Make sure you tag along to the very end and let's see how more drama unfolds.
Hey yo, Trump laid off 24,000 federal workers. Clinton laid off 400,000. Obama laid off 640,000. But they're worrying that Elon Musk is taking jobs.
Nothing is better than being MAGA. Here in Florida, let me tell you what we're doing. You see, what happened was Ron DeSantis and all the MAGA legislator here, we kicked out all of the immigrant workforce. We made it clear that they weren't welcome here and kicked them out of the state. That's right, even some of us MAGA business owners voted to kick out our own workers, and now we cannot fill the work.
Florida is literally about to be in the biggest FO phase. Do you know how we as Democrats were telling you that you were going to lose all of your labor? Like nobody's going to be able to build your house. No one's going to mow your lawn. No one's going to roof your house. No one's going to do your gutter work. No one's going to take out your no one is going to do all the jobs that you as an American feel far too entitled to do. So if you kick all these people out of the country, who's going to do it?
Oh, but don't you worry, MAGA's on top of things, because right now, our wonderful legislator is debating on loosening the child labor laws here, because our genius MAGA plan is to replace the immigrant workforce with our children.
They're putting the kids to work.
Our Florida children. Doesn't that make perfect sense and just sound wonderful?
Florida debates lifting some child labor laws to fill jobs vacated by undocumented immigrants.
The policy we support is actually detrimental to us, but we pass it anyway.
Johnny, thanks for coming home from school. I hope you had a great day at school from 7 a.m. to 4 p.m. I know you have homework to do, but I really need you to finish tiling the roof.
Now all the MAGA youth is going to be doing construction on your house. Doesn't that want to make you buy a house in Florida? It's not going to be insured and it was built by a 10-year-old. What could go wrong?
And let me tell you, if Miss Johnson's lawn is not mowed by dinner time, there's no dessert, Johnny. This is the biggest FO of them all. Just for fun, here's your daddy. Here's your daddy, Florida. Say hi. That's what he's going to be doing when your kids are working in the fields and his aren't. That's what he's going to be doing. The multimillionaire.
So red states are having a fuck around and find out moment, y'all. Let's be clear. I'm not a federal worker, and I do live in a red state, okay? Y'all remember when the judge said that Trump had to reinstate the federal workers, right? Because they were fired illegally? Right. Boom. Now y'all know about the blue states that went to bat and actually fought it? Right. Boom. How about the judge is saying that instead of everybody going back to work, instead of all of the federal workers, I'm thinking about, maybe we should only require you to reinstate the workers whose government fought for them. So who actually participated in the lawsuit. You know what that means? All blue states. So you know what that means? If that goes forward and they do narrow the decision, that means that federal workers in only the blue states in the District of Columbia will be reinstated per the lawsuit because their government fought for them. So if you are a federal worker in a red state and your politicians did not fight for you, they may say, nah, fam, you don't qualify. Ain't that some shit?
Quickly than farmers, because they're really going to get screwed. With the cutting of this USAID program, they're really going to get hit hard, because what was that program, or is that program, that is not being operated as it's supposed to be because of Donald Trump giving complete control of the federal government to the billionaire who bought him, Elon Musk. Anyways, what was the purpose of that? The purpose was to provide humanitarian relief around the world. And a big part of that was providing food to desperate people around the world. And what we did through that program is purchase a lot of agricultural products produced by American farmers and then distribute those products around the world. Now that money is being withheld illegally, but it's being withheld, and farmers are not getting paid, and their products, their agricultural products, are no longer being purchased by the federal government. I saw a guy, you've probably seen this, it's gone viral, some MAGA farmer complaining about how all these contracts he had to sell hundreds of thousands of dollars of agricultural products to the federal government, that's all being cut now. And he's out hundreds of thousands of dollars. And he specifically starts the video by saying he voted for Donald Trump. And he doesn't take that back, by the way. Apparently, he's still a Trump supporter. And then he goes on to explain how all of these contracts, all this money he was getting, was through the Inflation Reduction Act passed by Joe Biden. And so he's benefiting greatly from Joe Biden's policies. So what does he do? He votes for Donald Trump. Donald Trump promptly kills all of that. He's out hundreds of thousands of dollars, yet he can't bring himself to say that he made a mistake.
Guys, I know that I am representing the 2nd District of Connecticut and its constituents, but when you're in Congress, you're making laws that affect the country as a whole. And one of the things you never thought you would have to codify into law is child labor laws. You would think that it left up to the states would still be like, nah, bro, I'm not sticking a 12-year-old on a roof to start tiling. No, Mike and Susie, you cannot go force your son to work so you could have an extra boat. It's just common sense.
When rumors fill the air, of course, there's gonna be confusion. Let's just be clear here. It's a debate and it's not a law that has been enforced, but let's not also be blind that this cannot be enforced because anything can happen. Trying to replace migrant laborers with children is actually not cool at all. Absolutely not cool, because imagine that kid, after school is tired, there's a lot of things going on, they need rest. Trying to subject them to this hard type of labor is not cool at all. It's gonna take a toll on their studies or in their academics. This is when you start to see kids performing well in school, and it's because they're not getting enough rest or they're getting stressed out because of the job, like what they experience at the job. Maybe in the site someone is on their neck, and kids, they're not matured. Little things can just piss them off, and it can take a long-term effect. Let's just hope that the Florida state does not loosen up the laws and substitute children with deported migrant laborers. And also, let's face another fact here. If these undocumented migrants were actually working in the fields or doing this manual labor, let's try and take this scenario where if they did not exist, how would America actually survive? I know so many people would actually suit to do the work. It's only that they do not want to do the hard work. I don't know why people hate doing the manual labor, and you'd wonder, why would would people be homeless when there are still jobs like this? How would the nation sustain itself without the outside population? That's something that we also need to look at, like in a positive way. Think of it, undocumented persons, working, and when things fall apart, let's say they attack the owner or they attack the manager and then they disappear. How would one account for that for someone who is not in the system? Think of it, homeless people are not paying taxes. Maybe they are paying taxes in the form of value addition tax, they have the VAT, but are they paying the income tax? Absolutely not. If they are working in these types of job or in these fields, would they be paying income tax? Absolutely yes. If the documented migrants were working in this field, would they be paying taxes? Absolutely yes. It's a very big debate there. It's time for people who came into the country legally to take this opportunity and look for this type of jobs, because I know that people who are in the country and they do not have jobs because of the surge, the previous administration and the way they brought in people. It will take a toll for both sides. And for the MAGA supporters that are getting on this, I think it's something that they need to sit down and visualize and think about how they're going to approach this matter.
Okay, y'all, so for a long time I've been saying everybody's going to be in the FAFO stage. Everybody voted for Donald Trump and they're going to find out. And unfortunately today I was one of the find outs. And I work in public health and the CDC cut funding. And so they had us all come in for a meeting and let us know that they no longer have the funds for a lot of us in our departments and that they had to let us go, and effective today that it was our last day. And yeah, it's just such a crazy, scary time right now because a lot of people are losing their jobs, and especially, if you work for federal or local governments, which I did, it's just a scary time. So, you know what? I'm going to start posting on TikTok, and I need to get famous. I don't need to get famous, but I need to start making money. Yeah, I don't know. I'm a little bit still in shock, but, this is just what's going on with a lot of people, and I don't know, just subscribe. It's a sad time, and it was a really sad, timing for all of us. And I'm not shocked also because I'm in Tarrant County and our judge is a heavy conservative. So, they were already starting to cut funding and reallocate it to the police department anyways. But, it's an unfortunate situation. And, yeah, I'll keep y'all updated.
Fired from my job for posting pro-Trump stuff on my Instagram.
Thoughts and prayers.
So we all know the dude. When he talks, he sounds like he's got a garbage disposal in his throat. I'm sorry, I shouldn't mock. Anyway, we all know that he is now over the Department of Health Services, right? The dude with the brain. Okay, just so we're all clear on who I'm talking about. So today, he basically gutted the Department of Health today. So I'm going to read this because I want to make sure I get it right. So 3,500 employees at the Food and Drug Administration, gone. 2,400 employees at the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, gone. 1,200 employees from the National Institute of Health, gone. And 300 employees at Medicare and Medicaid services, gone. I believe we have now entered the Hunger Games phase of this administration. We are now in the survival of the fittest. I truly believe that these people are thinking that, if you are wealthy and you can afford to buy the medicine, you will. And if you can afford to buy organic food or whatever, you'll be okay. It's the people who can't afford those things, right? Because we know he's already rolled back the cap that Uncle Joe put on insulin and other medications. So I truly believe that we're at the point where if you can't afford to buy your medicine, they just expect you to die, right? They just expect you to die. So I just got back from walking and exercising, and I had a low carb meal and chicken and broccoli, high protein and fiber, because I plan on living. But I'm just saying, right? If you don't have the wherewithal to be able to buy healthy food, they're not going to help you, right? You're done. But on a on a side note, he literally shamed the governor of West Virginia today. And I enjoyed that. I enjoyed that a lot. He basically told him he needed to lose weight and he needs to do weekly check-ins to show his progress for losing weight. I really kind of feel like that was... Hey, anyway, I'm not fat shaming anybody. I'm not here. I'm not here to fat shame. I'm just saying we just got to figure out how we're going to survive. And that's it.
Man, it really sucks to, lose your job, especially when you had not even planned for it or when you had not even thought of something like that. It's always a risk that its likelihood of occurring is very minimal, but the impact is really big or huge. So it takes a huge toll, and I'm really sad for anyone who's losing their job right now, especially because of the disbanding of the US aid. I wish the people managing that non-governmental organization would have really used their funds really well and not be politically affiliated or, misusing the funds. People like these ones, wouldn't be out of their jobs right now. I think USAID had so many branches around the world. It is not only in the United States, it's also other parts of the world. Let's say a country loses like 30,000 employees because USAID has been disbanded. That is really alarming. And also think of it, so 90% of people who work at least are breadwinners in their families, and when their jobs are gone like that, definitely it's gonna be hard sustaining a family, especially if they did not have a proper savings plan or they did not have enough to save to cushion them in that period that they are trying to look for the next job, which is really hard. So it really is a sad thing to see. I really do think that it's hurting both sides, but yeah, mostly MAGA supporters in the short run, because they really feel betrayed. They really thought that voting in Donald Trump, that would cushion them from such things, like it wouldn't affect them. But anyway.
So the actor from Shazam, who is a Trump supporter, went on Fox News last night to plead with Elon Musk not to fire any Trump supporters from the federal workforce. Here is what Zachary Levi said to Jesse Waters last night on primetime. Quote, "Doge is complicated, ... There are good people that voted for Donald Trump who are losing their job, ... We got to make sure that we don't leave those folks behind," end quote. Sorry, Shazam, but that's not how this works. The good people who are being left behind are those who voted against Donald Trump, who were trying to warn their fellow MAGA employees that this would happen if Donald Trump got elected. Those are the people who don't deserve to lose their jobs. But as for the Trump supporters who are now getting fired as a result of Elon Musk's Doge, they effed around at the ballot box, and now they're finding out.
So whether you voted in for MAGA or whether you voted in for the Democrats, if the axe goes down, it goes down on everybody. Even those who did not make that choice. Think of it, you're a Democrat supporter and you're working for USAID. Same to a MAGA supporter. When this organization is disbanded, everyone is going home. Well, next time, think about how you vote and think about what they bring to the table and what are the consequences of you voting them in. Whatever drama is going on between these two sides, it all comes down to you as a citizen. You as a MAGA supporter and you as a Democrat, you're all citizens, and whatever politicians decide is gonna affect you. You have to think of a way to support each other as citizens and leave your difference behind. And let's just hope that the Doge department is gonna come up with a way that after auditing all the departments or whatever happened in the previous administrations, that they can now settle down and try to see how people can get back to their jobs. Because it's not sustainable having a population that is unemployed, that is really suffering. There is no joy in governing a society that is really broken. Chat, let me know what you think about all this. Do you think this is a around and find out situation, or do you think it's just something that is bound to happen? Do you think the Donald Trump administration and Elon Musk are gonna come up with something that is gonna facilitate Americans? Are the jobs that are being lost going to be recovered in the long run? Let me know if you have hope for that. If you like this type of videos, make sure you smash the thumbs up button for this video, consider subscribing to the channel, turn on post notifications so that you may not miss my next upload. Peace out.